So, Ashley Gardikis,
Yes.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome to the GRyTTY Truth podcast. We spoke a couple weeks ago, and you're super interesting because you're a young person, obviously, but you're very involved in you're creating an organization or have called TogetherStrongAZ.org.
Yeah.
I believe with your father.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a young voice that is saying yes in my backyard.
Yeah.
What's going on? What are you guys all about?
Yeah. So we are we're developing right now. So right now we're kind of in the working stages of getting the website. But our goal is to be, and I'm getting nervous now.
Yeah, okay.
The goal is to be a community-backed organization that promotes political advocacy in the sense of getting people into their city council rooms. So it's to activate people and also inform people, because we have this huge issue where the things that are impacting the people that are being impacted the most by the changes that are being made at city levels are not actually getting a voice in these decisions. And there are a few reasons for that. They're really, really busy. They have jobs.
So before you go there,
Yeah.
What are some of these things you're talking about, these decisions that people aren't involved with? You saying they can't come because they're busy or they're too tired, they run a business, they have kids. What are you referring to?
I'm talking about initiatives that are policy decisions on initiatives involving housing, involving infrastructure, which also ties into job growth, which ties into affordability, which ties into this kind of whole landscape of, is this a sustainable place to live? Is my paycheck matching how much I'm spending every month in order to be able to survive and live here? And there are policy decisions about those things that are being made, and we can go deep into different policy decisions.
Sure.
But and actually that's what the exact policy decisions is what our goal is to inform the community about. But if you don't even know the questions to ask, you don't even know the policies that are on the agenda, you have no way of actually doing anything about it.
So you want to educate.
I want to educate.
And you also want to inspire people to speak up and become involved is what it sounds like.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's through TogetherStrongAZ.org is what you're creating.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question I have is, why are you doing this? We don't have enough young people here, number one. But why is a young person like you, what is inspiring you to do this?
Because I love the town that I grew up in, and I want to actually raise a family here.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people who have moved here or have lived here their entire lives, and they have been pigeonholed at being forced. They don't want to, but they're pigeonholed into having to move to a place like Phoenix in order to be able to afford to support a family and to afford to support just a basic lifestyle. And that's not something we really want to see.
Right.
And so it's a huge, if you talk to any young person in Prescott Valley, that's a huge pain point for everybody. It's going to be a common thread.
Yep, absolutely. So what are some of the first steps you guys are taking to get launched and start educating?
Yeah. So as the website is under construction, one of our first steps is we're going to try to start launching monthly happy hours. And what those are going to do is we're going to get people in a room where face to face you can inform them about important policy decisions that are on the agenda and are going to be made, and things that should be on the community's radar. And that's how we're going to start, and we're going to try and gain traction for the movement in and of itself, and funnel that back into the website. And as the website continues to be developed, we're going to build a platform where you don't actually have to be in person to get all of this information.
Sure.
You're going to get the information, and then, okay. I've poured 4 months into this website, so I can talk for hours about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
So you have the information, right? And that's a huge, important part. But you also have the information that's not blocked by, oh my God, I have to spend. You can filter it by what is important to you. Is it housing affordability? Is it job growth? Is it education? And there's not going to be any jargon. I find sometimes that when I'm trying to find information, I have 300 tabs open Googling what different words mean.
Yeah.
And then I give up. Like I don't want to go to a council meeting because it's just so hard to find the information. And it's also kind of hard to understand all the different setup around how it operates. And so the idea is to have it right at your fingertips and press a button. Here's all the information. It's translated for you, so it's easy to understand. And boom, right there, it's a calendar link or a live stream link where you can get direct access to the website and put it on your Google Calendar so that it's easy to attend when you want to be involved.
So I got a one-off question for you.
Sure.
Bit of a challenge is, what are the possibilities of what you're doing to make it bilingual?
Bilingual. That's a good question, actually.
And the reason why I asked that is Talking Glass Media, they just launched a bilingual podcast. So it's actually all Spanish, as well as they're working on a all Spanish news page. And I'm wondering if that would be a great resource, that the information you create can then be translated into for Spanish speakers that you could also have at your website.
I mean, I really, really want the future of
and I don't know why that's not supposed to be. I turned off my phone, but not my computer. That's all good. We'll leave it. You leave that in there. I mean, that would be great, right? Because we have partners that could help you do that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be totally transparent right now. This entire thing, my dad's really busy. So a lot of what has been developing is me and me alone. So the website development has just been me. The talking to people, the networking, the getting the event set up. And my dad has played a great supporting role. And I want it to be as accessible for anybody as possible.
Sure.
And that is going to be the end goal. And I would love to have a part of that is bilingual.
Sure.
And I would actually kind of need help developing that.
We
down
can
the
help
line.
you with that.
That would be awesome.
That's a bit of a curveball, but that's the first thing I thought of.
No, I haven't been asked that question, honestly. So it's not something that was even on my radar, but I love taking suggestions. I love talking to people. And through the process of discovery for this, I have learned so much about how to implement. And so I'm so open to suggestions about how to make this better.
Yeah, that's great.
Exponentially than what it is.
Yeah, I believe up to, I could be wrong, 30% of all families in the Humboldt Unified School District are Spanish-speaking families. It's 30%.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider.
Yeah.
What does your dad do?
So he does business development down in Phoenix with Bremick. He's been doing that for a couple of years now.
Okay.
So he kind of introduced me to the business development space.
Okay.
I actually struggled in Prescott Valley for about 4 months trying to find a job. I was completing my degree and I had experience as a paraprofessional. And I was applying to jobs like it was my full-time job. And it was really, really, really hard for me. So he introduced me. He said, like a lot of other people, hey, come down to Phoenix. I have a job for you. So I was commuting to Phoenix just about every day for school in Glendale and for a business development position that I got down there. And as I grew in that space, I kind of learned a little bit more about just a lot of different things.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it kind of introduced me to YIMBY, Yes in My Backyard. That's how I got my foot in the door to meeting some really, really great people and being educated on how different systems work.
So Yes in my backyard. What are your thoughts? What do you tell somebody who's about no, not in my backyard versus your position of yes in my backyard?
And there's an official YIMBY scripted answer for this, but I'm going to tell you my answer for this.
Great.
Okay. And I'm going to be thoughtful about this because it's really important that I get the way I respond to this correct.
Okay.
The people who say no in my backyard, I don't really think I think some of them understand what they're saying no to. I don't think a lot of them really understand the
scope
of what they're saying no to. And if you want to live in a community, I don't think they mean no in my backyard, because you can't have a sustainable community and continue to say no. What happens over time, if you say no to housing, if you say no to a sustainable future, you're not only saying no to keeping your community alive and keeping your local economy actually functioning, but you're also saying no to a lot of things that make your living, your quality of life good and easy access. I feel like that's the best way I can respond to that.
Sure.
You're
You're
there's
not
a better
saying what
answer.
you really want to say.
Yeah.
That's fine. I get it. It's an emotionally charged
Yeah.
issue, right?
Mm-hmm. And I want to say, I respect a lot of those opinions. I do. And I can take a place where I can see where you're coming from. And at the same time, I think we should sit down and have a conversation so that we can come to terms with, here's actually what I'm saying. I know you think I'm saying something, and I see where you're coming from, and I can see why you're scared. Because a lot of people say no because it's of fear that things are changing, fear that things are growing in a way that is going to maybe hurt the environment, maybe hurt your quality of life. And I can understand that. Fear drives a lot of decisions.
I think a lot of it's fear, but do you think it's that, or do you think it's as simple as, or what percentage do you think of this is there's just a hard no on everything? And all they want is their place not to change. They don't want more growth. They don't want more traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to leverage the hot points, the hot buttons,
Mm-hmm.
just to back up that no. So
I
whether it's water
think
or
you're
whatever.
right also. I think that is exactly correct. And I would argue that is also driven by fear too. I think it's really, really sad, and you're going to have a hard no. And it's like you said, it's an emotional conversation.
Sure.
Because when you hard no everything and you want to preserve, because like kind of we talked about, there's a difference between preservation and conservation.
Yep.
Right. And so we want conservation, and when you want preservation, you don't want any change at all.
Correct.
Conservation is something different. You can be conservative. You can be a conservationist and still want a sustainable future for generations to come.
And that's very much the same as whether you're arguing with scarcity or arguing with abundance, right?
Exactly.
There's some really good talks on those two subjects.
Yeah.
So you're getting the website going. It sounds like you're creating a repository of information, but also a movement to inspire people to get involved. I'm assuming, are you talking about just people your age or anybody that's interested in getting involved? And I don't mean to profile you, but it's nice to see a young person that's getting involved.
So anybody that's getting involved. And I think the reason a lot of our who we're trying to communicate to is a younger generation, is because they're going to be more directly impacted. Anybody who wants to be involved is amazing. Unfortunately, I don't know how many people of older generations are going to want to be as involved and as activated as somebody who has my same struggles of spending 4 months trying to find a job and having to go commute to Phoenix, having that conversation of, can we still afford to live in Prescott Valley, even though we love our hometown?
Right.
And these are the conversations that Gen X, millennials, and now Gen Z, as they're moving into the workforce, are having on the daily. And you're not seeing no young people here because they don't want to be here, because they don't love their town. They're seeing it because they can't make it happen. They can't do it. So.
Right. What kind of data? I'm sure you've got stuff like that. You smile. I always love sharing data in terms of what's going on.
I knew you were going to ask me about data.
What are some of the key points that resonate with you that really make you passionate when you talk about data and how these no votes affect us? What are some of those key points?
Yeah. So, and that's kind of, why did I do this? This is a whole lot of
And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah. So I wish I had numbers off the top of my head. And I don't really have, actually, no, I do have numbers off the top of my head. Do you have the affordability score pulled up for Prescott Valley? I know you have Together Strong on the website right now. We have, if you go navigate to Together Strong right now, there's going to be a lot of areas that aren't there because I'm still developing it. But what you can see immediately is the Yavapai County affordability score. And if you want the resources, and this is something that Together Strong is going to provide, is going to be resources to everything. So if you are the type of person like me who loves to go down that rabbit hole and look for the supporting documentation, that's all going to be readily available to you. Okay. And if you want to go in on how we do this math, you can access that very easily on our website. There's a whole PDF. However, so the median home price in Yavapai County right now is $491,312.
Sounds
just
about.
This was updated in January of 2026. So it's a pretty recent number. The median income household income is $74,247. That's a huge gap. So right now, the Yavapai County affordability score is 6.6, meaning you have to make 6.6 times your income that you make a year to be able to afford a home.
Okay.
Here. And if we want to go to a city by city breakdown, that's here too. Let's open it up. Prescott has an 8.5 on affordability. We have Prescott Valley, which is a 6.7. So just a point up from Yavapai County as a whole. And so you can see every city on our website broken down, and we can walk you through the math that we do and the model that we use to give you this number.
All right, Ashley Gardikis.
Yeah.
So you're passionate about getting the word out, educating, and are you working now up here? Mm-hmm. You want to share what you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about what I'm doing, actually. It's a crazy job, but it's such a fun and such a great learning experience. I just got a job as the new events manager with the Prescott Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, great group.
I'm meeting so many people. I'm doing so many things. I feel like I'm in a tornado right now, but in a good way.
I know who you're working with. So she's really busy. She's awesome.
She's insanely busy, and she has a lot of my respect, just because of how many things she's juggling right now and what she's trying to do for her community.
We're talking about Sherry Heidi. So I would say her name.
Yeah. Sherry Heidi.
She's awesome.
Yeah. She's doing really, really great things, and I respect her for it.
So I'm hoping that you can come back on a regular basis to this podcast and maybe even kind of co-lead it if you want, because the purpose of GRyTTY is so similar to what you're doing.
Yeah.
They're into workforce development. They're into attainable. They're into a lot of different things. Some of it overlaps with what you're doing. A lot of it doesn't.
Yeah, Together Strong.
Yeah, I just think you'd be a great guest host to motivate young people, number one, but also just share some of the developments of what's going on in the economy, in our local markets, maybe bringing in some people that have seen the challenges.
I would love to do that. That would be amazing.
Done deal then.
Yeah, that would complement a lot of what Together Strong is trying to do.
All right. So we're going to make you a co-special host of the GRyTTY Truth podcast. How does that sound?
That would be great.
Ashley Gardikis.
Yes. Ashley Gardikis.
Say it. AZ Strongtown. No.
AZ.
I'm thinking of another website.
Yeah. Together Strong AZ. We're going to build better together. That's our slogan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. Come in again. Stay passionate. Say hi to Sherry. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
See you soon.